Hello again, fellow Ristopians. Another video. Now, this is a first. Continuing with the concept of talking about the watch I last had on the wrist. But this time there's a slight difference. This watch has actually been sent in by a viewer. London Ron has very kindly let me have his Invicta Pro Diver to review. Now, I'm going to be honest about it. Yeah, which is it's mainly good. It's mainly good. So, Pro Diver is less than £100. It's obviously a Submariner lookalike. I'm not going to say homage. It's a Submariner lookalike. It goes. I just realised it goes really well with my little addition here. My Marathon. What would you call that? It's got a name. I'll show you where it goes. It came with my Marathon baseball cap, which the lovely people at Marathon kindly gave me on my recent visit to Watch Pro Salon 2022 in London. Lovely event, and it kind of goes there. It doesn't sort of fit the Velcro patch. There's a name for these. I can't think what they are. But yeah, that I'm not going to wear that on there. It looks a bit strange, but that is a nice. I'm not a massive black baseball caps are not my cup of tea. But as they go, this one it's got a lovely it's got a lovely profile. You know, it's not those trucker caps that are like huge and don't, have this big gap above your head. And it's got a lovely peak. It's all a bit close in, but lovely peak, lovely embroidered, motif there, logo. But I just think that looks like glow in the dark, doesn't it? It's like one of those things I had as a kid. I bet that glows in the dark. Yeah, it's not. What's those tubes that they use? Trillium. Is it Trillium tubes? Yeah, that's not Trillium. Yeah, so I can sort of put that in my mouth if I wanted to. It wouldn't kill me. There's no nuclear radiation. There's no radiation sign on there, so I'm happy that's not tritium. It's tritium tubes. Should have done a bit of research before I started the video. But anyway, so that came from that, which came from Marathon. Really good chatting to the Marathon guys. They were another watch that it was kind of on my radar. They're a lot of money for what they are. I don't think I'm going to be going down the marathon road. I'm not going to be running a marathon anytime soon. But this little badge that goes on that cap is pretty cool, and it does look. It's very similar colours to the lume on the Invicta Pro Diver, and I didn't do that on purpose. I was just looking for something to have in the foreground, in the background. So the Invicta Pro Diver. So it's a nice size watch for the money. It's a Seiko NH35 pressed steel clasp, as you would expect. It's got modified the signature Invicta yellow rotor in there. Lovely movement. I guess that's what you're paying for, really, isn't it? You've got a lovely movement in there, in a nice looking watch. Now it's a Submariner looky-likey, which isn't my thing. If I was going down the Submariner, I don't really like Submariners, to be honest. I'm not anti-Rolex by any means, but they're lovely things. Don't get me wrong. It's just they're not my cup of tea. So, and also kind of having a lookalike isn't my cup of tea. But I love watches, so I'm interested in. Jody, just one more watch, did a good. I remember he did a good video of about 10 Submariner homages, as he would call them, a very interesting viewing. But it does get you down. You look at one. This is the cheaper end of the scale. I think excellent value for money for what you're getting. It's but then if you're going down that road, then potentially you would look at nicer and nicer and nicer. And I could see why you would actually end up spending many times what this cost on a really high quality, Submariner lookalike. So this is going to have an aluminium bezel, whereas you get some of them with ceramic, which I prefer. But we're not talking about those. We're talking about this, and I do love it. I do think it's a nice watch. I know that London Ron wears it on, doesn't wear it on a bracelet, wears it on a strap. But I think I'm much more of a bracelet guy, and it's a nice bracelet. I mean, it's a nice bracelet, nice case, and a lovely daily driver. Lovely watch, lovely movement. It's going to last for ages. It's going to tell the time pretty accurately. I think it's plus or minus 40 seconds a day, and an H35 is tolerances are, but in reality, then normally, I haven't stuck this on the time grapher, but the last one that I did, an H35, I did stick on a time grapher. It was about 9 seconds, I think, 9-10 seconds. So it was well within the tolerances, but you get what you pay for, and no automatic watch is, or mechanical watch is that accurate anyway. So, but yeah, lovely watch. So I think it's a really great watch. Guess that leads on to the downsides. Now, for me, there are 3. I don't mind the polished center links. I think these things, polishing, brushing, date, no date. I mean, these are kind of personal preferences that don't really come into someone else's comment on it. But I think things that are worth pointing out, they're really obvious. You either like them or you don't. I don't mind. I mean, it's very much a Rolex GMT, a Batman look. Probably looks better than a Batman because the shoulders are not as wide, in relation to the 20mm lug width. So yeah, really good looking watch. I think proportions are lovely. Now, the 2 things I don't like about it that sort of bug me a little bit, I mean, other than the aluminium bezel, but you're going to get that at this price point, and I accept that. But I would say, as well as the colour of I'm not a massive fan of that sort of Lemzip colour loom. I mean, it is that loom that you get. I never really thought about on a watch until I had this Marathon badge here. But it's that colour of things that glow in the dark. That's it. It's a glow in the dark yellow. And I'm not really, I would prefer them to be white. But it is what it is. But the 2 things I've noticed in reverse order are that they're very small loom pips. They're very small indices. They could do with being a bit bigger. Now I have to hand a Tissot Pro C-Star Professional here. Sorry, let me just align that. Which also has, it's a bit of a strange design, a bit unique, but also has very small, indices for the size of the watch. I think this does it because, I'm guessing it does it because it has that amazing sort of choppy sea turquoise dial. It comes in blue as well, but this is the turquoise one. And let me see if I can get that on the camera. Which looks like a sea at night. When it's dark, you can just about see it in the moonlight, and then boom, lightning strikes, and you can see everything, all the waves lit up. I think it's a lovely dial, and I'm guessing that the reason the loom pips on this are so small is to make way for the dial. Anyway, on this one, the Pro Diver, that isn't necessary. It's a black dial. So I would like to have seen those loom pips much bigger, those indices much bigger, and I would prefer they were white. But the real pain with the Invicta Pro Diver is this bezel. It's so stiff. You really have to pinch to get that to turn around. It's progressive, it doesn't, it's not juddery, but it's, boy, is it hard to turn. Now, I've read about this with them, and London Ron has said that it's better now than it was when he got it. So it's not a case of it needs a clean, I don't think. I think, I've had bezels that have become very stiff and awkward through getting the smallest amount of dirt between the case and the bezel. But I don't think that's the case with this. I think that just is how it is. And it's painful. Maybe, if it was your only watch and you got used to that, then you'd get used to it. You'd develop really, really good. You'd be really good forefinger and thumb strength. So yeah, you'd be good at, going out for a Chinese, a chopstick meal. You'd be, yeah. But other than that, it is a pain. It's not the worst I've ever experienced, but it's not the worst in terms. I mean, it's smooth. It's smooth. It's consistent. It's just very, very stiff. I think it's the joint work, but it is a significant downside. I'm going to bring another watch in here now. So that's a 3 watch. So here we have, it shows you some comparisons in size. Here we have the Invicta Grand Diver, which has a lovely smooth bezel. I mean, that is not too much. It's got a lot of backplay actually, but I think backplay is a big deal. It's very usable. I mean, is backplay even a problem? It's not great quality. I get that, but it works. It works very well. Once you get there, you don't do that normally, do you? So does it matter? I would say not. I think backplay is a red herring, a bit like loom, because I don't use loom either. But so the Invicta Grand Diver. Now, why have I brought this into the mix? The thing about the Pro Diver is it's a Submariner homage, whereas the Grand Diver clearly isn't. I mean, this one has a Batman style bezel, but there's nothing about this that is trying to be anything other than Invicta. Now, I haven't shown you on the Pro Diver. What a lot of people don't like is the Invicta engraved into the side. Bit weird. A bit strange, especially on a Submariner homage. But yeah, it's on the inside. If you're left-handed, no one's going to see it. It doesn't detract from it particularly, I don't think. On the Grand Diver, though, which isn't a Rolex homage, not only does it have Invicta engraved in a much bigger font to fit the side of the case. Isn't that cute? Look, like Daddy Bear, Baby Bear. But it also has Grand Diver etched on the crown side, which the Pro doesn't have anything. But the point I'm making here is that this Invicta, I'm not a massive. I like these 2 watches. Not a massive. I love Invicta as a brand in terms of their comedy value. I think the world's a better place having them there. There's not many of them I would want to own, but they, like I say, the world's a better place for having them there, I think. But this isn't a homage. The point of, this has all the, and I think if you're going to engrave the side of the watch, then do it properly. I love this. They're different fonts. This is very much a pirate font. Which adds to the pirate feel of it with the retro diver on the end links there, top and bottom, and you've got the retro diver on the crown as well. So a lot of fun. But I kind of just brought this out just to highlight the fact that the Pro Diver is a Submariner homage. And a pretty good one. Yeah, London Ron reports that it gets a lot of comments. All nice watch comments, which I'm sure it does. I think it is a nice watch for the money. And if you can suffer the bezel being extremely stiff, then you know, it's and they are all like that, because you know, I've watched videos on it, and everyone seems to say that the bezel is extremely stiff. But if you can suffer that, and you like the general design of it, got a lovely NH35 movement in the back, it's a winner. You can get a quartz version of this, but I would definitely get the automatic mechanical one. Yeah, highly recommended. It's a winner. So another video comes to a close. Hope you liked it. If you've got any questions, do let me know. Any videos, any watches you'd like to see reviewed, let me know. And it would be great if you're a new viewer, if you could subscribe. I know everyone says that, but it is nice. It does you know, raise the spirit when you log on and see that, oh, there's another subscriber. Obviously, it's going to be really bad. Please don't be mean and just subscribe so that you can then unsubscribe. That would be cruel. But yeah, one wrist, live it. Take care.